Color is the keyboard, the eyes are the harmonies, the soul is the piano with many strings. The artist is the hand that plays, touching one key or another, to cause vibrations in the soul. Kandinsky. Today we are going to talk about his art theories. Can you hear a poem or a section of music and make a work of art from your soul? See you on the other side.
The Sunday Painter. Please click and subscribe, hit the like button, and don't forget the little bell so you will be the first when we have an inspirational idea.
Wassily Kandinsky was a Russian painter and art theorist. A leader in avant-garde art and one of the founders of pure abstraction in painting in the early 20th century. Let's see if we can learn some of his theories to add to our art and knowledge. Have you ever sat down to create a new work of art and hit the zone, where time and space disappears? Creativity flows without trying as the art speaks to on a level you did not perceive when you started. To go beyond your expectation of an idea you started with. I'm going to share with you some of Kandinsky's thoughts about art. Kandinsky took up the study of art in earnest at age 30. I know that this sounds late, but I found it doesn't matter what age you start at as long as you keep moving forward in your art. Grandma Moses worked on a farm most of her life. She only started painting in her late 70s after she retired from her farming duties. At the start of her career, Grandma Moses entered some of her paintings into her local county fair, but they did not win any prizes. I'll save her for another video. How did Kandinsky see art in the world? He would recall being fascinated and stimulated by color as a child. His fascination with color symbolism and psychology continued as he grew. As a boy he learned to play the piano and the cello, also taking drawing lessons with a coach. I remember that drawing and a little bit later painting lifted me out of the reality, he wrote. His parents wanted him to be a lawyer. Two events affected his abrupt change of career in 1896, seeing an exhibition of French Impressionists in Moscow the previous year, especially Claude Monet's Haystacks at Giverny, which was his first experience of non-representational art, and then hearing Wagner's Lohengrin at the Bolshoi Theater. Kandinsky chose to abandon his law career and moved to Munich to devote himself full-time to the study of art. He was particularly taken with the Impressionistic style of Haystacks. This, to him, had a powerful sense of color almost independent of the objects themselves. Later, he would write about this experience, that haystack, I could not recognize it. This non-recognition was painful to me. I considered that the painter had no right to paint indistinctly. I dully felt that the object of the painting was missing. And I noticed with surprise and confusion that the picture not only gripped me, but impressed itself ineradicably on my memory. Painting took on a fairy tale power and splendor. Kandinsky. Color became more an expression of emotion rather than a faithful description of nature or subject matter. His fascination with color symbolism and psychology continued to grow. In looking at the past, he relates that seeing the houses and churches that were decorated with such shimmering colors that upon entering them, he felt that he was moving into a painting. This experience, and his study of the region's folk art, particularly the use of bright colors on a dark background, was reflected in much of his early work. A few years later he first likened painting to composing music in the manner for which he would become noted, writing, "Color is the keyboard, the eyes are the hammers, the soul is the piano with many strings. The artist is the hand which plays, touching one key or another, to cause vibrations in the soul." Kandinsky was also influenced by Richard Wagner's Lohengrin, which, he felt, pushed the limits of music and melody beyond standard lyricism. He was also spiritually influenced by Madame Blavatsky, who was a controversial Russian occultist, philosopher, and author who co-founded the Theosophical Society. Theosophical theory postulates that creation is a geometrical progression, beginning with a single point. The creative aspect of the form is expressed by a descending series of circles, triangles and squares. It was during this time that he began to emerge as an art theorist as well as a painter. His early work demonstrates the influence of Pointillism and the way the depth of field is collapsed into a flat, luminescent surface. Fauvism is also apparent in these early works. Colors are used to express Kandinsky's experience of subject matter, not to describe objective nature. Of all the arts, abstract painting is the most difficult. It demands that you know how to draw well, that you have a heightened sensitivity for composition and for colors, and that you be a true poet. This last is essential. Kandinsky headed a fresco workshop. He taught and developed the ideas, first of all, with the deep analytical studying of separate elements of a picture, which resulted into point and line to plane. Kandinsky also worked much and experimented with color, applying his analytical foundation and the conclusions in his teaching. His works again underwent changes, individual geometrical elements increasingly entered the foreground, his palette was sated with cold color harmonies which, at times, are perceived as a dissonance. The circle is used differently, as a sensual symbol of perfect form. The true work of art is born from the artist, a mysterious, enigmatic, and mystical creation. It detaches itself from him, it acquires an autonomous life, becomes a personality, an independent subject, animated with a spiritual breath, the living subject of a real existence of being. Kandinsky, believing his art could evoke the sound of music and used the terms improvisations and compositions to describe his paintings with its swirling vortex of color and symbols, was often described as operatic. He maintained several symbolic references in this painting, including glyphs of boats with oars, mountains, and figures. Limited the painting to include only one form, the circle. This allowed him to focus on color, scale, and composition. Varying in size and hue, the circles seem to move around the canvas and interact with each other. Some even overlap one another and change color where they meet. Kandinsky championed the view that colors could have different spiritual values. The hues in this painting promote emotional harmony. Highly contrasted, powerful diagonals whose central form gives the impression of an embryo in the womb, lend your ears to music, open your eyes to painting, and stop thinking. Just ask yourself whether the work has enabled you to walk about into a hitherto unknown world. If the answer is yes, what more do you want? Kandinsky. He intended his forms, which he subtly harmonized and placed, to resonate with the observer's soul. He felt that an authentic artist creating art from an internal necessity inhabits the tip of an upward moving pyramid. This progressing pyramid is penetrating and proceeding into the future. His paintings are primarily concerned with evoking a spiritual resonance in viewer and artist. Kandinsky puts the viewer in the situation of experiencing these epic myths by translating them into contemporary terms. This spiritual communion of viewer-painting-artist may be described within the limits of words and images. He spent years creating abstract works of form and color, tirelessly observing his own paintings and those of other artists, noting their effects on his sense of color. Geometric point nor a mathematical abstraction, it is extension, form and color. This form can be a square, a triangle, a circle, a star or something more complex. The point is the most concise form but, according to its placement on the basic plane, it will take a different tonality. The word composition moved me spiritually and I made it my aim in life to paint a composition. It affected me like a prayer and filled me with awe. Kandinsky. So Kandinsky used shapes and color to express how he felt when he heard music or other artistic forms to show you the art in his soul. I hope you learned something about his art and theory, and as always there is more to his theories and life. Please subscribe to my channel for more art documentaries lesson. Thanks for watching.